Okay, my sweets, here is lesson 14, and we are going to be focusing on skip counting by fours. So last week we've been really focusing on twos and threes, actually the last couple weeks. So now we're getting into units of four, and the objective is we will be able to skip count objects in models to build fluency with multiplication facts using units of four. So this is the model that I used, which was an array model. So I was skip counting this model each row by fours, 4, 8, 12. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But we're also going to relate it to multiplication. So which one shows 1 times 4? Oh, this one shows 1 times 4. Before we get started on that, we're going to do our application problem. So this is on, if you would like to do this with me in your book, I love it when you guys do it with me. It is on page 83. Page 83. So you can pause the video and get your book. Okay, here we go. So the question says, Jackie buys 21 pizzas for a party. Ooh, 21 pizzas, yummy. She places 3 pizzas on each table. How many tables are there? So what are we trying to figure out? Well, let's do our RDW first. Forgot about that. Did I read it? Yep, I read it. Now I'm going to circle the important numbers and underline the question. And I know the important numbers are, here is Jackie buys 21 pizzas. What does that tell us? Does that tell us the number of groups, the size of the groups, or the total? It tells us the total, right? I'm just going to make a little note there that that's what that is. She places 3 pizzas on each table. Well, is that the number of tables or the number of groups? Or is that the size of the groups? Well, this is the size of the groups, right? There's 3 pizzas on each table. So we don't know. What we're trying to figure out is the number of groups or how many tables there are. So this is the size of the group, or this how many are on each table. Okay, same thing. So I think what I'm going to do is when I draw it, I am going to draw a tape diagram. And I feel like my pen's running out, so I'm going to try and find a better pen here. Hopefully this one's a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to draw a tape diagram. And remember last week when we drew our tape diagram, we did dots, just in case we needed to make our tape diagram bigger. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to make some dots here. That way if I needed, I have a pen, so I can't really erase. But if I needed to, I could if I had a pencil. Okay, so so far I got 4 groups. So we're gonna put 3 pizzas on each table. So each square represents what? It represents a table, right? So here's 3 here. Remember, this is the size of the group. And then, so now we have 3. So I have to get to what? What's my total? Oh, my total's 21. So I know that I need to skip count by what? I need to skip count by 3s until I get to 21. Ooh, before I go any further, can I set up my problem? I know that I'm dividing, right? Because I notice here that the total, they're giving me the total. And we're trying to figure out the number of groups. So, I forgot to underline my question here. How many tables are there? That's what we're trying to figure out, the number of groups. Okay, so I'm going to skip count by 3s until I get to 21. 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, I need to create more dots. 15, count with me. 18. 21. Now I can draw my lines. Okay, so I have my total. I know the size of my groups, or how many pizzas are on each table. And that is 3. So 21 divided by 3. I'm trying to figure out the number of groups, right? Okay. So I'm going to count how many groups I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 21 divided by 3 equals 7. And before I go any further, because I did solve it, I want to label this so I know what this means. Well, this means the total, right? Which is 21. But it also is the number of groups. And that's what we were trying to figure out. And we know that that is 7. So I read it, I drew it. Now I'm gonna write it. Remember, if I'm going too fast for you, you're more than welcome to pause the video. Okay, so there are how many groups? 7 tables. There are 7 tables. Okay, and I wrote it. Now to get into our lesson here. So what I want you guys to do first is I want you to go in your Eureka workbooks. I want you guys to go to page 89. So pause the video. Everybody should do this. And go to page 89. And the page looks like this. It's a page with dots on it. 89. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, and I want you, this is exactly what you guys have on your page, it's just a little bit smaller. What we're gonna do is, in order, because we're practicing skip counting by 4s, right? So we need to do that on this array. This looks like an array, right? Well, it is. But we're skip counting by 4s. So each row here has 4 dots, okay? And there is, let's see, how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 rows. So let's practice by skip counting by 4s. And I actually want you to write this down in your workbook, okay? So write it down as I do it. If I'm going too fast, I want you to pause the video. Okay, this first row has how many? 4. Now how many do we have? So I'm gonna actually cover that up. Now how many do we have? 4 plus 4 is 8. We're gonna add 4 more. Now how many do we have? 12. We're gonna add 4 more. Now how many do we have? 16. We're gonna add 4 more. Now how many do we have? 20. We're gonna add another row of 4. Now how many do we have? 24. And another row, 28. So again, if I'm going too fast, pause the video. And another row, 32. And another row, 36. And our last row, 40. Good job, you guys. Okay, so this time you do not have to write this down. But you guys, I want you guys to figure out what is the answer, okay? So what you're looking at is rows, right? So 1 row times 4. So the first row, cover that up. This first row times 4. Ooh, that matches here. 1 times 4 is 4. Now I have 2 rows times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Good, so this is how we're figuring this out, right? We're counting the rows and the number of objects in each row. So now we have three rows times, how many are in the row? 4. But if we have 3 rows of 4, our total is 12. Good. Now we have 4 rows of 4. So 4 rows with 4 objects in each row. 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, and there's more, right? What do you think this one's gonna be then? How many rows do I have now? Oh, I have 5 rows. And I have 4 in this row. So 5 rows of 4 equals 20. I'm just gonna put the answers here so you guys can see this. All right, our next row. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows with 4 objects in each row, and that equals 24. Aha. Okay, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 rows with 4 objects or 4 circles in each row. That equals 28. And then we have 8 rows. It's the 8th row here. 4 circles in each row, and that equals 32. Whew. I'm gonna have to go back up here. Maybe I'll try and squeeze it in. Now I have 9 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows with 4 circles in each row, and that equals 36. And the last one, our 10th row. Whoops, I've been doing that. Our 10th row with 4 objects in each row. This all together equals 40. Good. All right, so you see how an array model can relate to a multiplication problem, right? Okay, now, this is something else that you guys are going to have to do on your independent work, okay? So now I want you to get your whiteboards out and have your expo marker and your eraser. Pause the video while you do that. So now let's draw a tape diagram to model 4 times 7. 4 times 7. Oops, I'm giving you guys the answer right now. Let's draw a tape diagram to model 4 times 7. So I want to put that on this board right here. Or 7 times 4. Okay, so if I want to do this in a tape diagram, do I know how many groups I'm going to have? Yeah, I'm going to have 7. This is the number of groups, right? And this is the size of the group. That's kind of messy, but that's okay. So I'm going to draw a tape diagram. So I want you to also practice doing this. But I'm going to draw a tape diagram. If you want to pause it and then watch me do it, and then you can do it on your own. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm going to do this one, and then I'll give you guys one to do next. So I'm going to draw a tape diagram, and I'm going to have 7 groups. If I'm going to draw 7 groups, this is a little trick that Miss Kellogg and I did last year. So if I know I'm going to have 7 groups, and I have to figure out how many lines I'm going to put on my tape diagram, all I do is I take 1 away, and that's how many lines I'm going to draw. So I know if I have 7 groups, I only need to draw 6 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but get as close as you can. And I know that I have 4 in each group. So each square is going to have 4. Now we are going to skip count by 4s to figure out what our total is. So here we go. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So 7 times 4 equals 28. Okay, now it's your turn. I want you to draw a tape diagram for 5 times 4. So this is the number of groups, and this is the size of the group. So now pause the video and see if you get it correct. Okay, so let's see if you got it correct. We have, how many groups do we have? We have 5. Okay, remember my trick on how to figure out how many lines to do. All right, I have 5 groups. I'm going to take one away. That means I'm going to draw 4 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have 4 objects in each group. Let's skip count by 4s to figure out the total. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So my total here is 20. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, now we're gonna do a word problem. And we'll do this one together. So if you wanna draw it on your whiteboard with me, that's fine. That sounds like a good deal. If not, and you just wanna watch, that is fine too. Mr. Smith bought 4 packs of glue sticks. Each pack comes with 5 glue sticks. How many glue sticks did Mr. Smith buy in all? All right, well, I'm going to circle my important numbers here. 4 packs of glue sticks. So you bought 4 packs of glue sticks. Oh, I know the number of groups. Right away I do, right? And I know in each pack, there are 5. So that's the size of the group. What am I trying to figure out? Oh, I need to figure out how many Mr. Smith bought in all. So I need to figure out the total. Aha! So I know that I'm automatically doing a multiplication sentence. But what I need to know, what I want to do is I want to draw a tape diagram in order to illustrate how I solved this problem. So so how many groups do I have? I have 5. So I'm going to draw a tape diagram with 5 boxes. And how many lines do I need to draw here in order to get 5 boxes? Oh, okay, remember, I'm going to put 5 fingers up. I'm going to take 1 away, so that means I need 4 lines. And I'm going to have 4 in each box. All right, now I can skip count by 4s in order to figure out what the total is. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Oh my goodness, we just did that on the other slide. And the total is 20. All right, so I just want to refresh you guys. Today you guys are going, with an array, we learned how if we can use an array to help us skip count. And this array relates to a multiplication sentence, okay? We also used a tape diagram in order to illustrate multiplication and to find and to skip count to find the answer. So for your homework today, for your independent work today, you are going to do page 85, and this is exactly what we just did, my sweets. We did that here. Oops. Let me get it real quick. We did it here, okay? Same thing, they just use different objects to skip count. So you're gonna skip count, fill in, and you can use this as a reference if you need some help. And then you are going to draw a line to the related multiplication sentence. So you need to find which one it goes to. I'm gonna match it. And then you will do, on the back on page 86, number 2, 3, and 4. You can do all of these. I know you can. So these ones you are going to, I want to see that you guys are drawing tape diagrams to solve the problem. Okie dokie, good luck.